Have you ever asked yourself how this iconic Butterfinger bar is made? Get ready, because we're taking you behind the scenes of a candy factory to explore Butterfinger's step-by-step process, starting from raw ingredients to the perfectly packaged bars you pick up from the store shelves. This is an experience that all candy lovers and those who simply would like to know what happens behind the candy world should not miss, for this is quite fascinating. Step 1. Sourcing and preparing ingredients. In making Butterfingers, they follow the usual procedure of preparing most candy bars, which involves using high-quality ingredients. The perfect balance of flavor and texture hinges on two key components: peanuts and sugar. The bars contain molded peanuts blended with a buttery base and crisp and crumbled sugars. Selecting high-quality peanuts is crucial, as their oil content and freshness directly impact Butterfinger's signature taste and crunchy texture. Apart from peanuts and sugar, other necessary ingredients include molasses, corn syrup, and a pinch of salt. These additional components perform significant functions. They contribute to the development of the taste and act as a glue. For instance, molasses gives a warm caramel-like background, and corn syrup keeps the candy having the right standard texture and firmness. Once the ingredients are ready, the peanuts go through a careful roasting process so the oils and flavor are released. Roasting is a very important step that defines the taste and texture of the final product, and needs precise control of time and temperature. Slight deviation may lead to a significant change in flavor and texture, which is why roasting is important to Butterfinger products. Step 2. Grinding the peanuts into a paste. It's now time to process the peanuts further into the paste that forms the backbone of the Butterfinger. Instead of regular peanut butter that is overly liquid and greasy, the candy bar uses a more firmer version of pureed peanuts. An industrial machine chops the peanuts into a thick paste. It has to be relatively thick so that it will hold when the candy is shaped, but it cannot be too thick, such that the next procedures cannot be done smoothly. Getting this balance right is one of the most important factors in developing the crunchy and tasty texture of the Butterfinger. Step 3. Creating the signature crisp flakes. Now, let's take a look at how Butterfinger achieves its signature light crispiness. Everything here hinges on the worker's skills and treatment time. It starts with a combination of sugar, corn syrup, and molasses. The mixture is heated in a very large kettle, and it must be cooked to a certain high temperature, termed the hard crack stage. The sugar mixture is carefully prepared before peanut paste is added to create a delicious layered and flaky texture. This method is somewhat like that of puff pastry, where sheets are folded and stacked over each other. These layers are stretched and folded, and again, 2 more layers are rolled over using industrial rollers, and optimistic that the finished output will have the notable crunch that melts in one's mouth with every little bit. Step 4. Rolling and shaping the candy. With the peanut and sugar mixture now presenting a striped look, the next step is to mold it into the familiar Butterfinger shape. At this stage, the candy is rolled into sheets, and this is the most critical stage because the thickness and thinness of these sheets will determine how crispy the candy is. Too thick, and there won't be any of that satisfying crunch. Too thin, and the bar may snap. Factories use precise cutting technology to make sure each candy bar is perfectly uniform in size and shape, so every Butterfinger bar feels just right when you bite into it. During this step, quality control teams carefully check each slab to ensure it meets the Butterfinger standards for thickness and consistency before moving on. Everything has to be just right to get that satisfying crunch in every bar. Step 5. Coating with chocolate. Melting chocolate is one of the best parts of making Butterfinger bars. In the factory, the process is known as enrobing, which is a fancy word for coating. Involves pouring a thick layer of melted milk chocolate over the freshly prepared candy bars. In order to do this, the bars are sideways and are carefully lowered into warm molten milk, which is level with the surface of the confection and covers it on all sides. For maximum delight, the most delightful and tastiest chocolate is taken, particularly given the crunchy centers that will be present. When you take a bite of this chocolate, it is obvious that it will be melting in the mouth. However, as you bite down on this well-tempered chocolate, you hear a crisp crunch from a firm fracturing sound this great chocolate has. After the coating stage, the coated bars are then put on cooling tunnels for sufficient drying of the coating. This cooling process is quite critical. If one is cooling the reaction mixture too fast, The ideal chocolate might be too soft or too brittle because of rush cooling. But if the air is exposed after a few minutes without cooling, that would be a bad thing, because no one would retain the shells. This step aims to obtain a tidy, crunchy, and hard exterior layer that locks in all the flavors. Step 6. Quality control. Quality assurance is among the critical production stages in Butterfinger products. The bar of chocolate with the foil tastes the same as the other, or at least tastes as satisfying. During production, the bars are inspected by cameras and sensors mounted on advanced machines to check the bar's size, shape, and coatability. However, quality control does not only involve machines. There are human experts in quality control as well. Some workers occasionally taste test bars from the conveyor belt to ensure that every batch perfectly captures the balance of crispy flakes and smooth chocolate. Any bar that fails to be on par with the requirements stated and meets the company's high expectations is pulled out of the line, meaning only the best are placed in the supermarkets. Step 7. Wrapping and packaging. Quality inspection is the last step of production before the finished Butterfinger bars are placed in a box. The movement of the elements of this process is made using a high-speed automatic packing machine, which packs the bars in individual fresh seal packs. These high-speed machines are very productive and can wrap thousands of bars in a minute. Once the bars are wrapped, they are either boxed to facilitate bulk takeout or they are packed in bags ready for retail sale. Depending on where the bars are headed, they may be packed for vending machines, convenience stores, or even overseas export. The wrapping serves not only as a safeguard during transportation, but aids in making sure the bars remain fresh for as long as possible so that every Butterfinger opened is just as good as when it was made. Step 8. Shipping and maintaining freshness. Once the Butterfinger bars have been properly packed and wrapped, they are moved into trucks for distribution. Temperature is key here to make sure every bar gets to you as crispy as possible. Butterfinger transports the bars in refrigerated trucks to prevent the chocolate from melting or the flaky texture from softening. These bars are then sent to warehouses or distribution centers, sorted according to retailer needs or put into inventory. From there, Butterfingers are swiftly distributed to stores, convenience shops, and online shops. Each activity takes a specific amount of time to chime, guaranteeing that each Butterfinger placed on a store shelf has the same satisfying crackle as the one developed for global consumption. Step 9. Enjoying the perfect Butterfinger. Whether it is a quick break at work when you buy a Butterfinger bar to eat alone, when you are with friends, or when enjoying a bar of chocolate cake, every Butterfinger bar promises a different experience. The crispy, flaky filling, combined with the smooth chocolate exterior, creates the perfect balance of textures that chocolate lovers crave. The next time you pop open a wrapper on a Butterfinger, think about how the peanuts were roasted, how the crisp finish was applied to the candy, and how the chocolate was poured and shaped before you took your first tasty bite. Every bar indicates a process developed over the years and can guarantee a crunchy and great Butterfinger. So there you have it. Now we hope you know everything about the whole operation concerning the delicious Butterfinger bar that you love. From getting all the right ingredients to the last detail, where the bar is thoroughly dipped in thick milk chocolate, a lot goes on in each and every bar. As you break open a Butterfinger next time, you will appreciate the strong crunch and the taste it brings in equal measure. If this behind-the-scenes look gave you a deeper appreciation for your favorite candy bar, give us a thumbs up, share this video with other candy lovers, and subscribe to join us on more fascinating journeys into how your favorite treats are made.